The only problem with using that chop saw, there's a lot of extra cleanup. Look at all them extra burrs inside of there. Throw this thing on the belt sander. Then we can continue on with our 4-inch exhaust. Mock-up custom fabrication catalytic converter delete kit. Man, like a daggone idiot, I came up short. Butting them two pieces together is hitting the transmission. I needed to come back. I should have daggone added a little extra hang meat on that joke. Camera died 2-3 hours, actually maybe 4 hours later. This is where we're at. The down pipe, that's the part that goes under. That's where I made that deal. I'm gonna end up coming up a little short, like I said, so I end up making that little spool piece to tighten that up. Now we're down to that 90. And also I went ahead and welded up the V-band to the reducer and then the V-band to this flex. It didn't come out the best. This flex is, this junk is almost like a galvanized something. It's super cheap. It was obviously dirty because it's used, so you can see like the black soot. It burning all the impurities out. I don't care, it's gonna hold up. But let's go ahead and install it real quick and I'm gonna show you what it look like on the car. All right, I look from underneath the bottom. That's where we're at so far. We're coming through that loop that I made in the past. And so now, I want to come this way. As you can see the contour, the exhaust, I want to come kind of like this, flow up underneath the bottom of that spinny thing, and then kind of cut back through like the old exhaust was. Close to that thin area with that little gap, and it didn't work out. So I'm about to get my other little poppies. We got our little bitty pie cut tacked into place, and I didn't show it, I did it off camera, but I took this flex pipe or this flex bellow and I put the Harbor Freight pipe expander on this side of it. With it being mild steel, it was pretty easy, and I opened it up that way I could slide it over top of this stainless pipe and kind of get like a little bit of a tilt. Looking at it from this angle, I need to kind of move it, or maybe get like a little pie to come this way, and then it's gonna come back and head out that direction. So here's a 4-inch pipe, same stuff that we use on Adam's car. If you don't know who Adam's car is or what he drives, that video will be somewhere up here. But just a reminder, look how big this 4-inch piece of pipe is. Hey, I'm about to be out there hanging and chilling with them daggone diesel boys. Another day has passed. It's the next day. Let me show you the progress we made. Check that out. We got that 90 snaking around there. I got like a pinky finger right there. And remember, all this is gonna be fixed, so it ain't gonna move. Everything from this point back is gonna move. Then we got this tacked in, so I gotta take that off and finish welding that up. And we're making some progress. Let's see if we can get some more welding clips in here. And check out what happened to my daggone torch, man. That joker broke down like inside of that, so I'm gonna have to contact Eastwood and get another one unless there's a nice one. But I can still use it. Since I cut this bellow back, if I'm not mistaken, the way this bellow was designed from manufacture, like it was pressed together and it was like one piece. And of course, since I cut it back, now it's like showing almost like a head gasket. It's like got a bunch of different layers. So with this deal here, I'm gonna upgrade to the 1/16 filler rod. This is a little bit thicker rod, and the reason being is I want to see if I can try to bridge that gap. So let's see how that works out. All right, let me show you what we got next. I've already took a couple measurements. This is all this is 4-inch. It's a straight piece that I cut at an angle, and I use one of my little slices of pies that I got about 8-9 inches here. And what I'm trying to achieve is I don't want it to be too terribly close to this 3.5-inch drive shaft, but at the same time I want to keep my ground clearance.
Oh! Waduh!
Purchase your tracks today.
And since it's hard to do stuff like this with just one person and 2 hands, I use some high temperature tape, clean everything up, and I put the tape on 3 different sides to kind of hold it into place to make sure I get my fitment right. It seemed like the more I weld, man, this stuff ain't coming out as good. And I think it might got something to do with this floppy torch. The argon comes in through this torch and it comes out through this cup. And I believe that maybe internally it's broken or damaged. So I'm gonna have to daggone wait, finish this exhaust up, and I think I'm gonna have to order me a new torch head.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
All right, update on the exhaust. I've already used that 4-inch stick, got it all the way back to the differential. And the video is all over the place, but I stopped doing the exhaust because I wanted to install my S13 subframe with the Q45 diff and axle and TT axle. I wanted to make sure I got that replaced so that I know exactly where to put my pipe in that. If I take the straight piece of pipe and put it right here, it's actually touching right here. So I end up got to do like a little kink. Let me show you what we're looking like. All right, so I've already showed you guys before, but I took the straight piece of pipe, which is right here. I made a couple of pies.
These are whites only pies.
But do you have any Negro pies?
Hey, Claude, come on now. This woman ain't got the recipe to no Negro pie. Where would she get that recipe?
Tacked it up. I had another little spool piece here that's gonna kind of shift the piece off. And then what I've done here is I got one more pie, and then also on this pipe here, when I rotated to cut the pie, it's also got a 9-degree angle. So with that 9-degree angle in this pie right here, it gave me a little bit more of a gradual turn. So I'm gonna go ahead and tack all this stuff up so we can fit it up. And then once we get all this welded, we can work on the hangers. All right, guys, the exhaust is done. You see I got about 3 pies to get this kink away from this gas tank. My boys at Metal Supermarket looking out again. I ended up using my Harbor Freight little bender. It's not meant to do any module bending, but it's meant to bend solid stuff like this. And it came out pretty daggone good. I also added a hanger right here. This hanger here will prevent, it'll try to help eliminate a little bit of that movement, that left to right. I got just a smidge of clearance. If you look right there, I ain't hardly got much, but it's just enough. And I also put on my S14 subframe. I had to put a bunch of heat on this thing to bend it. I don't remember why it was bent. Maybe the car was in an accident before, but I got everything put into place, as well as my bushings. It's only one thing to do now, and that's hear what it sounds like. Don't it, man? Dante was right, dude. Dante was right. I messed up, man. I ain't wanted mode to sound like that. Golly. I'm gonna have to change that up because that ain't what I wanted. Now this joke ain't gonna be fun to drive, and everybody is gonna see me, including the popo. With all this junk going on, man, I ain't really trying to get pulled over right now, dude. You see my skin color.